Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Atomic Salt Live Show. This is the show where we're going to discuss everything in the tabletop hobby world. Sorry about our 2-week hiatus. There was Adepticon and Easter, so there was a lot of stuff going on that we just could not make it to the show. But as always, I'm joined by my buddy Casey. Casey, how have you been?
It's a Monday, man. We always do this on Sunday night, and so I'm just totally thrown off by this whole Monday spot. The networks bumped us, and it's just so confusing.
We got a case of the Mondays.
You get beat up for saying that where I work.
So, what have you been up to in the tabletopping?
So I've actually been. It doesn't feel like much. I've been a busy guy outside of tabletop, but I did have time the other day. I was doing a little kit bashing. So I'm a 40k tau player, and as part of our new codex, we got
Broken codex.
Pardon?
Oh, nothing.
No, I'm sorry. Little envy there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Salty.
Yeah. Screw you, 5th edition Grey Knights. Anyways, no, like one of the options that my troops could take was like a turret. It's basically their way of putting like a heavy weapon in a squad. But I didn't want to go buying 3 new boxes to augment my 3 existing squads. So I had a bunch of Riptide parts laying around. Like I just seemed to collect half-used Riptide sprues. And so I think I have because everybody's like, oh hey, yeah, you're a tau player too. Hey, once you build your Riptide, you don't ever really mess with it. And so you have all these leftover parts. And everybody's just like, here you go. And I'm always like, sure, I'll take it. And I think I have something from like 6 different Riptides. Yeah. But I built up these little guys. So let me see if I can. So it's basically just like a drone with oh gosh, trying to do this in reverse is hard. He's kind of like a drone with like a little sensor on top and a missile pod.
That looks scary.
What?
That looks scary for something you can't shoot away.
Yeah, you can't hurt it. But yeah, it's only strength 5. Just a couple of shots. So yeah, I built up 3 of them, and so it's kind of a cheap upgrade, and I'll try throwing them in my squad, see if I like them. So I'd rather have like a missile, like a cracked missile launcher or something, but oh well. What about you? What have you been up to in the hobby?
Let's see. We started for Infinity League, so I've been jazzed about that. That's what I've been working on tonight, starting to get repairing some of the stuff that has just been broken. And yeah, even if you have a foam bag and all that stuff breaks after a couple of years. Other than that, I entered into the Iron Painter competition over at the Weird Forums. Here was my first round submission.
Okay, so why don't you explain that just a little bit?
The submission or Iron Painter?
Iron Painter.
So it's an annual competition on the Weird Forums. It's I think 10 weeks in total. Goes through a couple of different rounds, and it stresses you out. That's pretty much the basis of the competition. They give you a theme. It's open to interpretation and open to miniature lines. So round 1 was Pretty in Pink, and then you got 2 weeks, and you have to paint something. And if you make it to the end, you can say that you were an Iron Painter finisher. If you make it to the top of your classes, they got gold, silver, bronze. You get prizes. So this is my first time, and
so you're basically now. I guess the tough thing. So how many rounds are there again?
I think 4.
So you're gonna have to have like miniatures on hand, ready to paint. So
yeah, I don't have.
I guess there's a fair amount of preparation that kind of goes into this.
Yeah, I wish I had a lot of miniatures in my collection.
Yeah. Where are you ever going to find miniatures?
Yeah. So I had Nancy here. She's from Twisted by Demented Games. I did her on a. Oh, let's see if I believe I still have her in a photo. But yeah, I got silver. I'm in silver after round 1.
Wow. And the silver, is that just kind of like you're kind of where you're doing? You're not actually like in second or something.
Top 16 is gold. The next 16 is silver.
Okay, nice.
Here is a photo of Nancy. This is what my submission was. It's a painting competition, but since it's online, it actually really is a photo competition. And some people just don't realize that when you look at their photos, you're like, I mean, you can have the best miniature painted in the world, but if you don't have a good photo of it, you're doing yourself an injustice.
Yeah, very true. But I gotta say, like, I love how you based her, like you put her on the flower. I thought that was really creative.
Yeah, because I mean, she's currently not on a base because I am going to do a gaming base for her, more thematic of the Twisted theme. So that's why she's not on her plinth anymore. But yeah, I thought I did pretty well. I pushed hard. Making pink with purple was pretty interesting. And then this is.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that guy. Is this also for Iron Painter?
No, this is a commission piece. It's a Batman Arkham Knight.
Have you ever played that game before?
No, miniatures look good.
Miniatures look really good.
I don't think I've ever heard of anybody playing it, actually. It's a French game, right?
But the miniatures look good.
Yep.
So did you get any games in?
Yeah, I played. I'm trying to bring back Infinity into our local area, so I'm getting some Infinity games in. I played Annihilation for week 1 in our tournament. Got a tie.
Oh, congratulations! So, what kind of league is this? Is this like a growth league, or is it just like a series of games that you guys are playing?
It's an ITS league. It's not slow grow. You're allowed spec ops, so I'm building up my spec ops. But it is 300 points. And so, yeah.
Well, speaking of games played, had some of my buddies over. I almost forgot since it was so long ago. We've been gone for so long. We played a little Guild Ball. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've got the starter box around here somewhere.
So it's kind of
for morticians.
So it's kind of interesting. I'm the first one to say that I've never really gotten a sports miniature game like Blood Bowl and that sort of thing. And so I had to do like a lot of research and kind of look at this. And I still don't know how some of the other games work, but what I kind of liked about this was, one is skirmish size, so you can play this with 6 models. And the smaller number of models I have to paint, the better, right? And so that was cool. And then on top of that, it's interesting because it's alternating activations. So you're not waiting for one person just to kind of beat up on you. And then there's also this other game that you play inside of it where you're trying to predict your movements and allocate resources ahead of time, and it's really simple. I'm going to say that. Like, the rules themselves are simple. Like, you could explain it to somebody in 10 minutes. But the way that all the different models interact with each other is where the depth and complexity comes in. So I played Austin. He played the Fisherman. I played the Masons. And the cool thing about this is they actually have paper cutouts that you can use. And all the rules are available online. So you can try out every model you want. You can try out every team you want.
And that is an amazing thing. Having free rules and gets you hooked into the game a little bit quicker.
It does. Honestly, I think if you're a company and you're not doing that, you're lagging behind everybody else. I can understand the thought process of why you wouldn't want to give away rules. But the problem is, since so many people are doing it now, it almost boxes you into it.
The internet's a powerful thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, anyways, I played the Masons. He played the Fishermen. It's kind of funny because the Fishermen were the army that I first of all wanted to play, but I was like, oh, I'll let my buddy play it, and I can just kind of see how they work. Then we had our friends Chad and Darren there with us, and Chad was kind of serving as my coach, and Darren was kind of serving as Austin's coach.
So they are those two more adept in the game?
Yeah, I think they've played about half a dozen games or so. They're picking up their armies and they're starting to put them together. Chad has the Butchers and Darren has the Alchemists. So we did like a short 3 versus 3 game to kind of try and get the rules down, and then we took off and did a full 6-on-6. I mean, that's really it. Like, after one demo game, you feel confident enough with the rules that you're ready to take on 6, like a full size tournament game with it. And so it was a lot of fun. We played at first. So the Masons are generalists, and a lot of times when you think about it, you say, well, they can do everything okay, but they can't do anything really great. That's not true of the Masons. They actually do everything really, really well. You just have to understand that they do all that really well by synergy, and you stack up your combos differently depending on what you're trying to do. And so it took me a little while to kind of get a hold of that, whereas the Fishermen are just stupidly fast and really good ball handlers. And so the two ways you score points is by either making goals or by knocking people out of the game. And I spent probably about the first hour or so trying to to score goals against Austin, and against Fishermen, it just was not working. And so, like I said, after about the hour mark, a flip kind of switched inside me, and I said, I'm sick and tired of these guys. And I started wailing on him. Like, the first person I took out was his captain. And and the team kind of rides on the captain. And so when he's out, it's kind of a big deal. And so I just curb stomped his captain.
So you went full on rage mode?
Yes. And then I kind of sat there I was like, that's kind of fun. And I started looking around, because when you have one person versus one person, and maybe other, like the Butchers can probably do one-on-one, not a lot happens. People have enough hit points and you don't really do a lot of damage. But when you start getting 2 or 3 people ganging up on a single model, things get interesting really fast. And so I basically kind of figured out who his lowest hit point models were, and then just proceeded to stomp them into the ground. And I won that way. because Austin's like trying to do all this all this fancy like maneuvers and ducks and dodges, and I'm kicking the ball around. I'm just like, I don't even care about the ball anymore. I'm just gonna hit you in the face. And the Masons do that very well. So that was a lot of fun. I'm actually looking at getting a starter box and a couple of models for that, because I think that's a fun little distraction game,
I mean, I like how the ball stays in play.
Yes.
I think that's a very interesting mechanic.
What I really like is it's a simple game. Infinity is kind of my skirmish game, but let's be straight. Infinity has a very deep and very complicated rule set. And to a certain extent, the better you understand that rule set, the better you will do in Infinity. Whereas Guild Ball's rule set is very, very minimal compared to this. And so it's a game that you pick up very quickly. You have stat cards for everything. And so it's really, really easy to get into and get going with it, which I kind of appreciate.
Oh, now you got 6 more people to pick up and paint.
Okay, so anyways, folks, we're talking about Infinity and Adepticon, and I just served Alan the most perfect transition in the world, and he just dropped it.
Yeah, I was trying not to get my finger drilled out again. But yeah, so
that Monday spot.
Yeah. So yes, Adepticon happened this weekend. We saw the release of Human Sphere N3 for the people who were lucky enough to go there.
Yeah, we're starting to see some rules trickle out onto the forums too.
And yeah, Carlos had one of his infamous seminars. We got to see a lot of cool stuff.
I haven't actually watched the video for the seminar. I've just seen some stills and some highlights from it. Was it good?
Yeah. Talking a lot of it's about Human Sphere, of course. It's a new thing. Right. What I'm geeked out about is the Margarita Guard finally has a miniature, the new one.
There is nothing miniature about that thing. That's a bowling ball.
It is a chunk of pewter, and it's glorious in how grotesque it is in size.
They actually had to invent a whole new profile size just for this one model.
No, well, they had that before. I've got the older version. The older version doesn't even come with a base. When I first started playing, I was like, hey, I had on the Fish forums, like, what size base should I put this thing on? And they're like, oh, you're probably going to need a CD or something. I'm like, wow, this thing is just huge.
Well, in the old version of the game, it wouldn't have really mattered because you're measuring from the center of the base versus the edge of the base, so you could have just measured from the center of the model with that one. But yeah, I'm not even sure they make a base big enough for this bad boy.
It is going to be glorious. It is going to be a pinning nightmare because
and then try and maneuver it between buildings.
Yeah.
Good luck, like on a Euro or on an American style board. Good luck getting that thing around. But more than that, Beast of War also had their Infinity Week. So we've seen a ton of stuff. So
the new hacker stuff looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think they did a lot of work to make hacking interesting, but they kind of ran into the problem of it was hard to actually do hacking because you couldn't do it from inside of a link team, and you had a few other problems with it. And so it feels like they're trying to make hacking a little bit more relevant.
Well, and you couldn't damage hackers. You can immobilize somebody, but that was about it. Now, programs that can actually hurt, kill.
Yeah, they have a new killer hacking device, which is scary. I mean, fortunately, like when you see it, like the first thing you do when you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be horrible. And then you realize, oh wait, it's only against other hackers, so it's okay. Yeah. So, tell you what, let me flip over. Let me put on the screen share here, and we'll take a look at some of the models here. All right. So Kazakh Spetsnaz with HMG. Spetsnaz are really nice profiles, and I guess it's a popular one, so they came out with the HMG variant. I just find it interesting how Infinity will, or Corvus Belli, will give like all sorts of love to certain models and with different profiles, while there's other ones that just have very commonly used profiles that just sit and sit and sit. This one, the Reverend Healer. I know a lot of Nomad people were a little upset because the only way you could get a Reverend Healer was in the Iceform package.
If you got
whereas the panel guys had a Father Knight relatively quickly. So I think she's nice. I like this. The pose kind of reminds me of the Odalisque pose.
Oh yeah, I see that.
But I gotta hand it to Corvus Belli because I'll say the biggest criticism that people level against them is that they have a lot of cheesecake models, whereas this one is still, it's feminine, it's very flowing, but you're not, there's nothing hanging out there.
I maybe used up on that. I think a little bit. Just the Govads. I have the new box of Govads. The ladies are sexy, but they're not hanging out.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you can do. I mean, especially when you're as skilled as they are, you can do sexy without nudity. And so I gotta hand it to him. We're getting new Yaogats for the Morats.
The whole Onyx Force, man, that's just.
Can you take Yaogats in Onyx Force? I don't know if you can. The funny thing is, like, I read like the Onyx Force stuff, and I was just like, oh man, but I want this Morat unit. I want this Morat unit. I was like, oh, I gotta just play Morats because everything I wanted is Morat. But this is really. But I mean, this is really similar to some of the art that we've seen, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, on was it not Parody? So,
and it wasn't Human Sphere, but it's a really common one. Was it on art? Was it the cover of Art Book 1?
Yes.
Oh yeah, here it is. Hold on, let me. I got it right here.
It's a white book.
Here we go. Can you see me?
Yep.
Yeah. So they're kind of taking a page from that one. So I like the art book. It's a good book. Sometimes I just pull that book out and I just kind of thumb through it looking for inspiration. Okay. All right, here you go. Here's your Margarita.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's a chunk of metal. It's so pretty.
Like, I'm just having a hard time because there's similar poses. Like, I'm having a really hard time seeing what this guy has going on. It's kind of got the scorpion tail a little bit. But
Yeah, I
it
think
only has 4 legs now, I think.
yeah, the scorpion tail is a lot thicker, and I think it had to be that thicker because what it was before in the 3D renders, like that's gonna be interesting to pull off.
Yeah, but I mean, look at how tall this thing stands. It's as tall as a tag, but it's just this solid, massive muscle, like metal. And then look at the size of this base. That's bigger. I'm going to go out and say that that's probably a 100 millimeter base. If they don't supply it with one, you're going to have a hard time finding bases for these because that is not a common base size.
It is a Silhouette 8, which is not in the book yet.
Oh wow! Well, the only people who are ever, because it's the only Silhouette 8 out there. How many points is this thing worth?
Let's see, 78 to 98.
Okay, because I seem to remember it's like a mainline tag where it's like Armor 9, BTS 9, isn't it, or BTS 6 or something?
Armor 8, BTS 6.
Yeah, so it's a full on tag. It's a heavy tag. But then the machine gun and the missiles.
Multi HMG and the heavy flamethrower currently.
So what I kind of dig is it's got the little scorpion mandibles, like little hands and stuff going on there. So you're gonna get this, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. I don't care if I already have one. I'll have two, and I'll be okay with that.
You should definitely field 2.
They're only AVA1.
So we also had the new Imperial Service starter box. This kind of surprised me. I mean, I guess their old box was a little ugly, but holy cow, these guys look sharp.
Yeah, GT has been getting a lot of love lately, probably because they haven't had a lot of love the past couple of years.
Yeah, I've got some little better pictures here. Yeah, they've gotten 2. They've gotten 2 of their tags resculpted, and they look amazing. Now they've got this great new starter box. I'll be honest, I'm looking at them like they look pretty good. Because I know, like, I've got my USARF guys like half built and just crying at me from the closet right now. But
you need a second army.
I know, but like my USARF guys are not inspiring me at all right now.
Maybe when that blackjack comes out.
Yeah, that might be what does it. Because like I really like the starter box, and I like the grunts box. That looked great, but everything after that, I've just been kind of like, like Desperados, okay. The rest of the profiles have just been like, all right.
The Beamer bikes?
Not really. I was hoping for bikes like the Coom had. But yeah, these guys, I'm like, man, get the starter box, those 2 sweet tags, just 1 or 2 other models, and I'm set.
Get Thundercat.
Yes. Dude, like the more I look at that profile, the more I just think it's amazing. That stupid move, like, it's just so fast. Like, that's just your first turn. Like, you just run up the board and just blitz with it, and just murder stuff.
Well, I saw a game with the Gundam guy, the one with the 2 guns on his shoulders. The hypermagnetic cannon. Oh, that thing is evil.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you remember when I was first looking into Infinity, Eugene was one of the ones that I looked at, but because I liked 1 or 2 of the models, but I couldn't really get behind it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it was very much an older. A lot of their stuff is older.
Yes, it is. But the new Celestial Guard look solid. They look as good as the Pano Fusiliers. The Imperial agents look sharp. Their tags look good.
That ponytail's gonna be a bitch.
I know. That might. Oh boy, if I get these, I won't lie. I probably won't put those on because I'm guessing that's just a one separate piece. The ponytails will probably get left off, and I won't even feel bad about it. I'll just green stuff a little bit over the little socket area and call it a day. Oh, dude, because I've even got a hack towel already. Oh man.
When did you get a hot towel?
I got it as a prize at a shift tournament. Because I was like, it's a cool model, I guess. Maybe I'll use it as an HVT. So I've got it like primed and base coated. I've been needing to go in and start edge highlighting it.
So we even got the new HVTs on new release.
Mm-hmm. So, here's Onyx Force. Let's see here. Nope. So you can take Rhodoks and you can take Suryats. And I mean, let's be honest, Suryats aren't awesome enough that you don't need much else. But while we're here, we can look at that. Cool thing is this is actually a whole 300-point army in a box.
Yes. I mean, that's pretty nice. And it'll probably come with more flat pack terrain, but it'll be sweet.
Yeah, I think, and the rumors is that this is going to run about $110, which is totally fair. $110 gets you a tournament list that's ready to go, and it's a list that's got a lot of different stuff in it. So you've got the Uber Legates, which has a lot of different toys and is good in close combat.
And they got the new link rules.
Yep, he can link with this box of 4 Rhodoks, and Rhodoks are awesome with their super jump. They're super jumping heavy infantry base, or more like medium infantry. Unidron Batroids. For light infantry, they're actually really amazing because they have plasma weapons. You've got a 80 combat unit with the Fracta, and it also has symbiote armor. So, haha, screw you. You've got a mock rep sniper, which is great, and then a couple of drones. And so, really, it's really well balanced.
Well, and symbiote armor is changing, so it won't be as bad as before.
True. But the Fracta, or whatever they were called, their symbiote armor always worked a little differently than the Toha. And these are all brand new sculpts too. So this is like the best that Corvus Belli can do, like army wide for these guys. So, but on to the other stuff that they were announcing here. The Ulan / Teak belongs.
Oh.
Finally.
If you love your pano tags, here you go.
Yeah, the posing on this guy is just amazing looking. I'll be honest, like this orange, I'm having trouble like kind of picking out what he does, like the details of it. And it's also just the picture is not great.
Yeah, it's the orange, very, very weird.
It's because Carlos loves Eugene, so he just made him make it all orange. But yeah, this guy is cool looking. It looks like he's got like all sorts of equipment on his back, and because most of the pano tags are fairly streamlined and high tech looking. This guy just looks like he's geared up for war.
Well, he's a jungle terrain, so he's a jungle fighter.
Yeah, so Ulan and Teak belong. Their stats aren't overly amazing. I mean, they're basically kind of a medium tag. The problem is like Pano just has such amazing options everywhere that if a tag is just okay in Pano, then you just kind of shrug and say, I have no reason to take an okay one because I have great ones. And so hopefully the Oolong and Teak Blonde are going to see some refreshes to their profile in Human Sphere, because yeah, that's a sharp looking model. That's another one. You're going to have to pin those arms, because that gun is going to get knocked around. I guarantee you. We've got Miyamoto Musashi. So don't we have a version of him on a motorcycle?
No, that is freaking what? Let's see the Merc. This is the old Miyamoto Musashi.
Yeah. Okay. So again, it was kind of a. I didn't actually think that model was too bad.
It aged. It's a little agey. And they're trying to do that.
I guess the thing is, you have, when you see Angel paint, even their older models, he does such an amazing job that he kind of brings their old, not quite so amazing models up a few levels with a great paint job. So, yeah. And then he has an alternate version where you can put the hat on him. I'll be honest, I'm not too hot on that hat. I think that's kind of a miss there for me.
Yeah, so, it's more towards the story.
Well, I mean, and it's also referencing a lot of other animes and stuff out there, and I get what they're trying to reference. I just feel like the shape of it is weird and doesn't work. Like, I would be totally cool with it if it looked a little better.
Yo Jimbo is the one on the motorcycle.
Okay. Thank you.
The one with the super sword.
Yeah, it's as long as his motorcycle. So that's actually that's a Japanese legend. Is it Japanese or Chinese?
Yojimbo or Musashi?
Yojimbo.
Yes.
Yeah, they actually talked about how he was this expert swordsman, and at one point he's going to come up against this other expert swordsman, and Yojimbo is watching him and realizes he's like, oh shoot, like I don't think I can beat this guy. And so he actually spends all night and makes a wooden sword out of a boat oar that's like 7 feet long, and everybody laughs at him like, what are you doing? But he basically just uses that sword to like keep his opponent out so far away and just like bludgeons him. Basically uses his sword as like a spear, yeah, or a as a halberd. And so like it's kind of this, I don't know, like a running joke or a theme to have, a giant sword up for an expert swordsman. Anyways, a new Foxtrot Ranger that you can get, which is nice because the old one was a little meh.
Lady Foxtrots.
Yeah. Foxy Lady. Foxy. Sorry, I'm doing the Wayne's, like Garth dance from Wayne's World here. Such a great, like, I love this piece of art. And then I look at the model and just go, meh.
Yeah. It something lost in translation.
It really was, because when you kind of look at the pose, it's not overly different. I think it's the way she's holding the gun just looks really awkward. It's like they were going to say, like, let's have her just throw up her hip and we'll have her gun cocked up in the air. And then somebody said, well, we do that.
She's shooting it lefty.
Yeah, and I'm left-handed and I don't even shoot left-handed. Like, no lefties shoot left-handed.
I do.
It's because you're wrong.
Well, if you're not left, you're right.
It's funny. I shoot pistol left and I shoot rifle right. Instructors got really mad at me. Yeah, but like just the way she's holding it just looks awkward. Like, I honestly feel like she was going to have a pose, and Corvus Billy uses this pose a lot, where the females have a hip kicked out and they've kind of got the gun pointed up in the air. I got a feeling like they were starting to do that, and then somebody said, "Oh shoot, we can't do that. We've been doing every other female model like this." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, we'll just point the gun down." And then that shotgun looks big, like, and the one where she's facing away, like her arm is kind of stretched out, weird.
Yeah, usually Infinity has like there's no bad angle, but it's like they brought out all the bad angle photos for this one.
Yeah, like I feel like if she would have tucked it in just a little bit closer to her and maybe brought it up a little higher on her chest, like, you know, she was kind of sighting down it, you know, was kind of stepping into it. I think that would look good. This is just a weird pose.
Or maybe from the hip. Shoot from the hip.
Yeah, but at the same time, let's go back to, we have a female model. It's obviously a female model, but her pants fit normal. She's fully clothed and armored. So you have to appreciate it. It seems like Corvus Belli is learning their lesson. So weird posing aside, a totally appropriate model. And just a different view of the Magariba. Dude, you're gonna have to put that on a drill press and just put like a piece of rebar in there.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Time to hit the machine shop. So, Wuming Assault Corps, some more heavy infantry for Eugene. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I've
and of course that stupid Black Friar.
Oh, yeah. It's fine. I mean, he's just doing a job, like a very specific job. The fat Yan Yan.
For April Fools.
Dude, I feel so dumb. Like, so they did this right, and like all the new profiles are dropping everywhere. And my wife is out of town, so I'm watching the kid, and I'm crazy busy. I'm just like, okay, I got 10 minutes. I'm gonna check the news, see if there's any new profiles coming out. And then this comes across, and I totally didn't realize it was April Fools, and I was just like, oh, yes, they finally did the fat Yan Yan. Thank you. You know, because they had a whole profile with it. I'm like, thank you. This is amazing. I love it. And I got all excited. I posted on Google, and one guy's like, dude, it's April Fools. I was like, crap. They got me. Because I want to use this profile. I mean, even if they don't make a mini, just let us keep the profile.
They should. Those are some kick-ass stats.
I don't know what heavyweight does, but I do like the Fat Yan has replaced the smoke grenades by cans of beer.
America.
That's not an American. That's I don't know. That's kind of an ugly South African, I think. But yeah, I want that to be a thing. Let me get. We've got a few more minutes here. Let's see if we can find. Oh, there's some more JSA. So I guess the reason that I'm really interested in these guys is, I painted Achilles and painted all that armor, and I had a lot of fun painting that armor, and it turned out well. And I kind of look at that, and I'm like, I liked painting that. I want to paint like a nice heavy armored army. And Aleph is really nice, but all their stuff is really streamlined and organic, and it's pretty and it's nice, and I love the look of it. But I'm tired of painting, like skin tight shirts and pants. I want, some big beefy armor dudes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then these guys come along, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I was asking for. Just they're orange instead of blue. So we got the Umbra Samaritans. This is that new crazy one.
with the tri. It's got the weird
Glaive,
spinny glaive. Yeah.
the Vorpal Glaive. So, couple of things. One, he's a light infantry, so you're not going to be hacking this guy. I don't think there's anything to hack. But 6-2 movement. I love 6-2 movement. Sure, like if you're doing a move, it'll get you the same distance. But if you're going to do like a move shoot or a move / anything else, you're getting 2 free inches of movement out of it. So he feels so much faster. Amazing close combat skill, which is kind of nice because you don't actually have any close combat tricks, just high skill. Arm 2 BTS 3. So Harry's, which will be nice. Hyperdynamic, so he's dodging. Kinematica level 2. He's dodging further. This guy is just... And super jump. He's stupid fast. So, which is cool because you see he's got a plasma carbine, which is nice. There's the combi rifle and the Spitfire, which are great. But the plasma carbine, you're going to be able to get into a lot of places with this guy with an assault hacking device. So this guy's going to be an objective scorer for a lot of people. I have a feeling you will see this model a lot.
Especially in Onyx Force.
Mm-hmm. So we'll go through here.
Do you have Andromeda on there?
This should have all of them. I just thought I hit them by now. I'm kind of annoyed. Oh yeah, Evo hacking devices are amazing. If you're not taking one, then you're dumb. And different other hacking devices. White Hat is pretty good too, but again, if you don't take it, you're dumb. So Xenodron Batroids, a new tag. We haven't actually seen the model for this. But, so close combat is fine. Ballistic skill, a little bit better than normal. Physique, a little low for a tag. But armor 5, BTS 6 with 3 structure points for 60 points. Oh, and he has bioimmunity and super jump.
It's like a lightweight tag.
You know, yeah, he's kind of the difference between a light tag and a super heavy infantry. But he's durable. Really durable. He's kind of outfitted like that. So a Red Fury, a K1 combi rifle, and a multi-rifle. So this guy's really going to be hunting other tags, which he can do with super jump. And at 60 points, I will throw this 60-point tag up against a 90-point tag. Like, this guy with his K1 combi versus a Yodam, that's a battle he's going to win.
Or any super or anything with high armor value. Ariana, Pano.
Yeah, I just picked the Yodam because it's the highest one, and kind of in my mind, like the next after the Yodam is kind of the Cutter with the TO camo, but that's a little different story there. So yeah, this guy's going to be great. Okay, so some USAR stuff here. We've got the Unknown Ranger. He's a character, so it's not a squad. It's just one guy.
Yeah, I love how everybody was equating him to Texas Ranger.
Yeah, I think like based on the patch, I think he's going to look more like Captain America. Which I think would be cool. 40 points gets you armor 4 with 4/4 movement, which is kind of unusual for Ariadna. Natural Born Warrior with close combat 22, which is great. Kinematic level 1 is fine. Scavenger, which is always cool. So you go and kill that guy with a flamethrower or a Spitfire, and you pick it up. So no wounding cap is always nice. A T2 close combat weapon, we don't see those very often. And then he's also got Chain of Command, or he can be a specialist. So 40 points feels a little high. I'm not sure that he's an auto-include.
Well, in Ariadna, even USARF, it is a very... You can get a lot of cheap stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
So having one heavy points, not that bad. You can still get your 2 groups.
Mm-hmm. And I think what you'll see a little more often is the Chain of Command, because a lot of USARF's best stuff, generally has lieutenant options. And so, this guy with armor 4 and no wounding cap, he's fairly durable. So if you just want to keep him in the backfield and watch a flank, he's not so expensive you're breaking the bank, but that Chain of Command can really help you out. So if he becomes your new default lieutenant, you're not going to worry about losing this guy. Okay, an interesting one. So heavy infantry, the Blackjacks. So this one feels a lot like the Toha symbiote armor.
It's a walking tank.
Yeah. Heavy Ranger Battalion. So it has its like battle ravaged versus its full power. You drop close combat, ballistic skill, physique, drop a point of armor, and BTS. I think the BTS is actually kind of interesting to see that in USARF. But, so with an HP, HMG with a chest mine, so you're not going to want to screw with this guy. The T2 sniper rifle is a little odd, but only 36 points.
Yeah.
I mean, he's expensive with support weapons, but only 36 points for what is essentially a 2-wound model who starts off at armor 5. That, I think this is one of those guys, he's probably going to be an auto-include, because this is just going to be a nice anchor to kind of anchor your backfield. Well,
Let me see if I can find the drop. Right, here we have Steel Phalanx Andromeda. Yes. The interesting thing on her, she's a silhouette 4, but what we're going to see on her, she's got Guardian level 3, which is a new thing now.
hey, I'm back.
There you are. I built up Andromeda for you. 4/4, 20 close combat, Arm 2, BTS 3, Silhouette 4.
Yeah, this is nothing overly exciting for folks, other than the fact that she's a normal, she's a regular infantry versus like Frenzy or something like that, but they're special skills.
Can't wait to see what her Guardian's going to be.
So, yeah, so Magnetism, which is always next, fire will remove well, the other forms of camo. For deployments, it's not huge. Yes, every inch helps when you're trying to get up the board. Stealth, specialist operation is fine, no wounding cap. But yeah, that Guardian level 3. So we've seen Guardian level 1 is an antipode. So I'm really, really interested to see what Guardian level 3 is. That's got to be absolutely scary.
And knowing Corvus Belly, it's probably just going to be a tin bot with a the gladiator helmet.
Yeah, it's going to be another Pokemon. Or a Care Bear or something. Why don't you take a look at the... head on down to the Sukulo Commandos.
Oh, these are the symbiotes.
Mm-hmm. So I dig these. Again, they have Fire Team Toha, which is always good. But Whip 13, Arm 2, BTS 3, which is really nice. Mimetism with Forward Observer and a K1 combi. I like the Forward Observer profile is what I think most people are going to be taking.
Now, why is it availability 4 if Fire Team Toha only allows you 3?
Because they don't all have to be in the same fire team. You would probably want to put them like in separate fire teams with different guys. So
that's right. You can mix them up.
Yeah, so you'd have like 4 different triads running with one of each of them in each of the triads. So, yeah, he's got a nice smattering of skills, So, veteran level 1 is great. Courage is always good. The K1 combi is kind of where it's at. So, he's got a K1 sniper rifle. I'm not sure people are going to use that too much. The Toha have such amazing snipers as it is. So,
just a little cheaper version of the fun stuff.
So, now that I'm back here, I got a few more profiles here for you. We'll just run through these and wrap it up.
Cool.
Okay, so Teak Belongs, we were talking about, they're getting I just asked, maybe I'll get an updated profile, and here we go. 6'4" movement, so they're a little quicker, good shooters, good physique, and kind of just a middleweight tag, Armor 6, BTS 6, with an HMG, heavy flamethrower, anti-personnel mines. For 85 points, I guess... If I'm going to spend 85 points, I want to spend like an extra 5 or 6 points and just get a cutter with a TO camo instead of mimetism. Like, it just feels like, once again, a Conta Cemento is getting the shaft.
It's all fluff. They're very different. They're not nightly orders.
Yeah, no, it just comes back to Pano has so many really good tags that if you're not really good, you don't care. Any other army, you'd be like, oh yeah, sure, great. Teak Belongs all day long. Except for Pano. Pano's not going to care. Pano's going to say, I've got another half a dozen tags that all, I've got ones that shoot better, I've got ones that stealth better, I've got heavier armor ones that aren't a significant difference in points.
Well, it depends on if you're playing sectoral or vanilla.
True. I mean, if you're playing sectoral, you have access to the Drago, which has the hyper rapid magnetic gun or whatever. So, Shikami, I don't think we've seen the model for these guys. But, yeah. Close Combat 23.
Just that the image of their on the profile. That's a demon.
Yeah. Well, they are demons. Close Combat 23. Armed 3, BTS 3, 2 wounds. Martial Arts level 3. Dual wield. And ODD, Super Jump and Climbing Plus. Specialist kit. This is one of those ones that I think a lot of people are gonna take, because with dual wield, that means you get to use the profiles for double action and your AP. I guess you could always use your assault pistol too in close combat if you wanted to, but yeah. So you take 2 of these guys and you just in the fire team duo and you just blitz them up the board and go to town. So and for 45 points, 2 of them though is 90, and you're coming up close to a third of your points, and that might not be worth it. But just for 1, I mean, to have him kind of roving the midfield, because if he can keep his ODD until turn 2 or turn 3. He's going to be a nightmare.
What's this line for? So yeah, everybody will know he's out there.
Yeah. Colonel Veronin, we talked a little bit. I think really only Strategos level 2, which is cool. Guardian is really the only interesting thing here. So otherwise, I would say he's kind of like your default lieutenant for Ariadna. Because he's whip 14, which is great. Strategos level 2 is awesome. And he doesn't cost a whole boatload of points. So buy him, stick him in a building somewhere, hope he stays out of trouble.
And he looks cool. I mean, come on. A guy walks around with an anapode.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on him. Okay. These are your guys. You want to talk through this? Since you are the Hawk player?
So yeah, we got a heavy infantry assassin now. Hollow projectile level 2, which has changed. You can regenerate. You can regenerate now one of your echoes as in a reactive turn, as long as you're out of line of sight. He's free agent, which is a new thing that allows him to hop back and forth between groups. He's a specialist. Yeah, shock marksman rifle. That's going to be pretty nasty.
Yeah, I kind of like that you've got a sniper with armor 3, 2 wounds. And that's something I noticed too, like a lot of heavy infantry are getting 2 wounds in human sphere.
I mean, surprise shot level 2, that's going to be... I know level 1, it's a -3. Hopefully,
level 2 is just -6.
-6.
Yeah, it's kind of a toss-up between surprise shot level 2 with your marksman rifle or the sniper rifle. Because he's got the armor and the wounds to just kind of hang it out there and bang with anybody.
Well, I mean, shock sniper or shock marksman rifle.
That's ignoring cover.
Yeah.
Yep, gotta love that guy, and he's a specialist too. So
yeah, I mean, nice to see a heavy infantry in assassins.
So another 2 wound heavy infantry guy. Not Colts Combat 19, which is fine. Again, he's a free agent. Fire team duo. But armor 5 and BTS 6. Good night.
What are your thoughts on duo?
It's better than not having duo, I guess. The thing is, it doesn't give you any bonuses. And so really all it is just a good way to get 2 models up the board.
Or if your link team is broken.
True, yeah.
It breaks down to 2.
That's true. Like on heavy guys like this, I'm not sure how I feel about it, because to take advantage of it, that means you're spending around 50 points. Or I'm sorry, no, you're spending around 100 points. And I'm not sure I want to spend 100 points on 2 of these guys. I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm just saying it feels like that's a really big point sink. I kind of like this more like on something smaller. Like, it's great like if you have a couple of light infantry specialists that you're trying to move up the board really efficiently. That's where I think I would like to use it. Not so much in the big big dudes.
Well, it's interesting. All the stuff coming out for Human Sphere, it's like the game is anew. So all the old metas and all that gonna change up a little bit. So we might see some interesting new combos and tactics.
Oh yeah, I mean already we could see heavy infantry are leaning more towards 2 wounds apiece. We're starting to see some ways to better counter infiltrators. Yeah, some cool looking a lot of new toys. So, but I dig this guy because you got crazy koalas plus a 10 bot with deflector. So that deflector means that it's going to be -3 to hack them. So plus with BTS 6, these guys are nice. It's just it, and as you would expect from nomads, it's nothing extremely fancy. It's just it all just works. Red Fury, Pulsar, Crazy Koalas. This guy can go up the middle of the board and he can hold it.
Do we know what Red Fury is?
I want to say it's basically like a chain rifle, but it's not a plasma chain rifle. It's like a BTS chain rifle.
Okay. Kind of like breaker ammo?
Yeah. So, and then a Pulsar is like a small nano pulsar, or it's another template weapon. So he doesn't even need to really aim with some of those, which again is great. Ballistic Skill 13 is fine, but you just stick this guy up here and up in the middle and he'll do work. Suryats, Morats, Fireteam Duo. For the Morats, the availability will probably go up to 4, and you'll see them just linkable. And again, Suryats are just good, solid, medium infantry. They say heavy infantry, but it feels like Armor 4 is more medium now. 2 wounds. Not a lot. I mean, he's not going to be a specialist. He's just going to kind of go up there and shoot stuff.
He'll do that well.
He will. I mean, he really will. And that's the nice thing, especially with Morats, is you can use this guy as your lieutenant if you want to. With a multi-rifle. He'll be 0 SWC, so that saves you a little bit there. And because you're on Morats, you all stay regular if you lose your lieutenants. So I think he's a great choice for a Morat lieutenant. And we talked about Andromeda. We talked about the Commando. Oh, here's our Black Friars. I mean, Black Templars or Black Friars or whatever you want to call them. And it seems like their only real purpose is just to hunt impersonators.
Fine and dandy. I mean, there's only 2. Well, I guess there's more than 2 if you do a hacking program, but really, there's only 2 armies that you're going to face that with.
Yeah, but I think it's the White Hat hacker. There's a lot of people now who can bring cyber masks. So, but I just think tabards and cloaks on power armor guys, it's just dumb. I'm sure it'll look nice on the model, but when I see this, I just go, really? You're going to have this guy who's going to suit up in all this armor, and then they're like, oh, let's put on a tabard. Yeah. Tie on my leather belt over my micro, my nano muscle things and my fusion pack. No. Just no. It makes for a cool picture, but so, and I think that's it profile wise. Oh, some cool new art. So, well, that's all I've got.
Yeah, Human Sphere looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. Um, we have about a month until those rules can be used in play.
Oh, that's so annoying because if you went to Adepticon, you had the money to go out there. Guess what? You can get the book first.
Yeah.
The books are printed. Just start shipping them out. Oh well. Well, that's all I've got, Alan. Anything else?
That's all I got. I mean, productive night for um, man. I love this the Hanzo-ku. That's a nice miniature to put together.
It's just a great pose too.
But yeah, that's all I got tonight. Uh, thank you guys for joining us on a Monday night instead of a Sunday night. I mean, Human Sphere is the next big thing for Infinity. If you went to Adepticon, let us know what your thoughts are. What's something cool that we need to check out? Um, we'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Casey, anything else?
Nope. Just as always, if there's anything interesting you want to point us towards or talk about, shoot us an email at theatomicsalt@gmail.com. This has been the Atomic Salt, and Corvus Billy has just blown our mind.
Good night, folks. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next week.